Hey, what's going on YouTube? Man, I had to do this video. I've been fighting it for a while. Like I'm one of you guys. Sorry, the dog is all over my grill right now. I'm one of you guys as far as the Star Wars fanatic. Man, I love Star Wars. I love everything about Star Wars. I had disappointment for the new episode. I ain't gonna lie, but I think my gist of my video right now is, man, everybody just needs to calm down and like take a look at the big picture here. And we're not seeing anything new. In a sense, we're seeing a lot of new stuff, but we're not seeing anything new on some levels. And I'll kind of cover what I mean. This isn't a review. You know, I don't need to do. Everybody makes videos for these things. I'm not out here. I do videos for other stuff. This isn't me, but this is me right now as a Star Wars fan that was on board with everything everybody's saying for a while there. Kind of made my own everybody's thoughts, my own beliefs in a sense as well. Kind of took it all into one thought and made my own decision based upon those. And I think that's kind of the problem here. I mean, especially for a lot of you guys like me who watch these videos on YouTube. There's a lot of good ones out there. Star Wars Theory. You know, just name one, because there's a bunch more I watch, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. Just some things that I've noticed and things that I kind of want to remind everybody about. You know, again, as me and you sitting here hanging out and talking after Star Wars, I recommend it being the second time you see it before you really sit down and make any kind of educated decision about it, because the first time those expectations come to play, you know, right in front. I mean, that's everything you've thought for 2 years. I did it with Star Wars Force Awakens, and the build up to that, I watched YouTube, did all my reviews, watched all the reviews, watched all the breakdowns of the trailers, did all that. And what that did for me was really just hype the movie a little bit. So again, you know, where I'm coming from, man, I'm an avid YouTube supporter. I watch YouTube videos on a regular basis. I make YouTube videos for my RC business. Where I'm at right now on this, though, is more like I had to do this video just because I'm tired of seeing all the negativity about this film and people putting their own ideas on paper and expecting the writers to do the same. People saying that Rian Johnson's ruined Star Wars. Well, let me make that clear. Disney's not going to let Rian Johnson ruin Star Wars. I mean, think about that, right? I mean, I don't know if this glare is killing my screen or not, but just think about what I just said. How much money does Disney have? How many executives does Disney have making moves? So anybody that thinks that Rian Johnson had the sole say in what was going on with that movie is far mistaken. The screenwriters, there's people that have to sit down, there's people that have to talk about this, there's people that make that decision and that allow him a window of what he can do. And you're crazy if you don't think that that's the case. And you know, and if you're crazy if you're not looking at this as a trilogy and you're still looking at it as movie to movie. You know, Rogue One, you want to look at it, you're going to get a beginning, you're going to get an end. We already know the stuff that fills in on that. That's one thing. Right now, you have your beginning, you know where it left off, you know where they're at right now, where they just took you, but they're not done. There's still one more story to that. There's still one more story to that 3-part chapter. And that's where everybody's mistaken, man. That's where you're not thinking clearly on this is a trilogy. You're jumping on number 2. Oh, Luke's dead. The whole thing's ruined now. Oh, they made him a hermit. Oh, everybody has that thought and expectations of what they expected to see, and they're disappointed now. But again, we have a third movie. There's a third one coming. Everything, your Knights of Ren, everything that you're thinking of, which again I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But that's the kind of stuff that you're going to see probably in the third movie, man. Especially with J.J. Abrams coming back. I mean, it's a given. You know, like just sit back and enjoy the ride is my whole outlook of this video right now. So before I dig too much into this, let me just remind everybody here. All right, so we all hyped up about episode 7. Everybody, it comes out mixed reviews right across the board, just like any Star Wars release since the 70s and 80s. It's just mixed reviews across the board, and you got your people that say it's a fan favorite, You know, like, oh, they went to fandom. You know, the Han, the whole story, everything they made it feel like, try to take it back to the original. A lot of that in people's mind is what they saw on YouTube and things people talking about taking it back to the trilogy. So it's already embedded in your mind. Most of the people. Again, you got your people that don't watch YouTube and go to see it. They're probably the ones that like it. To be honest with you, is they don't have those built-up expectations. All the people talking about, all the hype, the Snoke hype, you know, all that stuff that you don't have to be built up with and think about on a regular basis. All of a sudden, you're just going back and enjoying the movie for what it is. So, Force Awakens, yes, it was a fan film. It definitely was. It drew you back in. It knew the prequels screwed up, in a sense. And I'm going to go to the sequels, too. There's nothing wrong with the sequels for the Star Wars franchise. Yes, they got better. But my first thoughts of Phantom Menace wasn't it's a bad movie. My second thoughts got to that point, but that was later down the road, and then I had to kind of rewind myself and remember what it's all about. And watching it with my son the first time, the Phantom Menace, and his love for that movie and his love for Jar Jar Binks, you know, and I didn't hate Jar Jar at first either. Got a little annoying, and I mean, where would we be at right now with, you know, my Robot Chicken fandom people that, you know, you don't have Jar Jar Binks stand next to Anakin after he ejects him out the freaking escape pod, but there's no pod. So of course Jar Jar goes out and freezes up and comes into a Force ghost. He's fucking standing over Anakin's bed. I mean, I guess you gotta watch it if you're not familiar with it, but we wouldn't have things like that, man, if it weren't for Jar Jar Binks. And yeah, they put a leash on him and kind of quieted him up from episode 2 and 3. But that was because of all the backlash, and a little bit undeserved backlash. I mean, they try to go for a little comedy relief. Things that right now they're saying that has never been done in Star Wars, all this comedy relief. Okay, well, they tried it that way, the comedy relief, but then you want to pick apart what Poe was saying in the beginning of that movie, which I thought was hilarious at the time. I thought, again, I'm not going to do a whole review, so I'm just going to throw this in there because I probably won't cover it again. I thought the freaking, the whole build-up, man, the whole build-up of him handing, or Rey handing Luke the lightsaber, the end off of that, and him getting that lightsaber and then just picking up right where it left off right there, and him just going, throwing it off to the side. I thought it was hilarious. You know, people don't like the little, what are they, the shark, I forget the name, I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the shark people. Oh man, I heard there's some edited scenes. I haven't seen them yet, I haven't watched them yet, but I wanted to see the movie a second time before I go back and start watching the missing scenes and stuff. But I heard of some scenes where she really got on their nerves and destroyed a lot more property and things, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Again, just as a fan, I mean, I love the show, I love the Star Wars saga, I love everything that goes about it. I'm not blind to anything when I'm talking about this. I'm not saying, oh guys, I'm a fan, you know, I'm an extra fan, don't listen to what I'm saying. I'm telling you, as a fan that grew up on Star Wars, you know, stop letting these expectations decide what's a good movie and what's not a good movie. The movie was great the second time I saw it. I liked it the first time I saw it. I had a feeling, like it was just a weird, taking it all in, seeing the end, Luke's gone, okay, like it was just, it was quiet when we all left the theater. It wasn't like, pumped up. Second time I left the theater, I was much more, like, I sat back, I knew what was going to happen, kind of, in a sense. I wanted to see it all on play, I wanted to see the sand not move, I'm sorry, the salt not move under his feet and things that everybody talked about. Things like that, little things like that they did that gave you that. I don't think Snoke's dead. You know, if he is, it was never about Snoke, which is where these expectations all get it wrong. All we did was talk about Snoke. Where'd it come from? No one asked you to talk about Snoke other than what he was telling you. So if Snoke is a bigger picture, he'll be back in 9. One way or the other, he'll be back in 9. So take 7 for what it is. I mean, I'll take 8 for what it is. And that is, it's a filler movie. It's a setup to 9. You got people that don't like Rose. Okay, well, why don't you like Rose? Okay, she was thrown into the picture. Is that what everybody is kind of like the gist? She felt out of place. didn't really have a place on there. She was just kind of forced in there to kind of go with the plot. Lando Calrissian? I mean, is that not ringing a bell to people? Because Lando was thrown in a sense. All of a sudden, it's Han's old friend. Oh, wow, he got the Millennium Falcon from him. Wow, I didn't know this in the first one. This is just kind of, that's convenient. Okay, oh, Darth Vader knows him. Oh, they got him? Oh, okay. I mean, like, it's that whole thing. He was forced into the plot line. In a sense, I mean, most people nowadays don't even think about it. You don't even, Lando's, it's sacred, you know, it's Lando. Well, if you go back and watch it, you know, episode 4, 5, and 6, you watch them in sequence of how they originally came out. And again, like, you know, again, I'm not original on this. The Empire was defeated by a bunch of freaking Ewoks, you know? And we were cool with that. It was good. Here you got Luke using the Force like we've never seen before. Fooling his enemy, Kylo Ren, you know, who is a mistaken enemy. Clearly, there was two sides of the story, and both sides were right. They were both absolutely right. I love how they showed you that. And you know, Kylo saw it one way, and it's all about perspective. It's all about vision. And it's exactly what we're talking about right now. It's all about perspective of the movie. You think Luke's gone? I mean, no. Luke's going to be there in episode 9. There's absolutely no way Luke's not going to be there in episode 9. Now, did they not have to tell Mark Hamill that he was going to die in that movie? Probably. Because Mark was a loose cannon, man. If he would have known you're killing Luke off, what? You know, without hearing the bigger picture, without even having a script in front of him telling him where he's going to be at in episode 9, he might have let some of that his card. He's not a very good bluffer. I like to play poker with him. He doesn't have a very good poker face. In that after the preview or premiere face was not his best poker face. So again, guys, you know, I don't want to get in a rant on that. That's not why I'm here. I made some notes, some which I'll stick to them. So one of the things I want to talk about real quick is the things people don't like about it that I've seen. Again, following the videos, the added Force powers people don't like. Why? Episode 1, I keep going on. New Hope, you had Force powers. Force was a mysterious thing. We had no idea really what the Force was as much. Of course, you know, prequels, I'm not going to go there. It was fine at the time, just silly later, about the whole explanation of the Force and things like that. So it makes much more sense now. I agree with a lot of the other review guys, and I'm not a review guy, by the way. I'm just speaking my case here, and it really put it in perspective in this movie. So that this movie gave me a better perspective of the Force. It gave me an outlook of the Force that I didn't have, and you know, I liked it. I liked it the second time around. That look of the Force. Looked at that Rey might not be anybody. She might not. She might still be. Maybe there's still something there. I do question as well the connection between her and him at the end. If Snoke's not available and he made that original connection, is that something that they got since he made that connection? Now they have it together since they had that battle, and now they're kind of synced together, or is Snoke still around? So I guess that's what I'm hyped to find out what's going on in episode 9. I will be there. I will be there on episode 9 as well, just like I was this one. I will be there on the Han Solo movie. I'm going to be there for all of them. What I got to start doing is separating, and it's really hard. You're not going to be able to do it. I don't want to stop watching the videos. I love the people I follow. I love talking about it, obviously, because I'm making a video that I want to talk about it. I want you guys to talk about it with me. I feel like I'm one of the only, other than my kid who, you know, is 10. I can talk about it a little bit with him, but I can't get deep with it, you know, from childhood and the deepness with any of my friends. Just no one's really hung on to it like I have. So, you know, you guys, definitely, if you guys have any comments or questions, hit me up. If I'm saying something you don't like or don't agree with, let me know. You know, like I said, that's part of the discussion. That's what I'm here about. That's what I want to do. So, let's see. Oh yeah, added Force powers. So, Leia thing, even after the second time, I'm not good with it. Now, here's what I would have done. It's easy to sit back in that chair. As a fan, I kind of wish Leia was dead then. You know? I kind of wish that was it. Oh, that's why it wasn't like a big deal. And they said that it was no big deal, like her parts had been filmed. She died. You know, she died right there. Worked out. Everything's great. So tell me that you didn't think that too. Maybe your expectation of her using the Force to pull herself back in was because you thought she was going to die there because you know Carrie Fisher died. That was my first thought. I'm a fan, but that was my first thought. It's almost impossible not to think that way. So take that perspective out of there, and now look at it. Say that's Luke. Luke's on the top of that ship. Ship blows up. Luke's floating out in space. Fuck, they just killed Luke. What the fuck, man? Bullshit, boo. Luke pulls himself back into the ship, and eventually he's fine. Are we having the backlash that we have right now? Probably not. Would people complain about the CGI, maybe the way it was done? Possibly, but the backlash wouldn't be there. So it's all perspective. It's all what you thought was going to happen versus what really actually happened. Get it on Blu-ray, watch the edited scenes that they take out of it, the added scenes that people don't like, or they had to cut out for filler, or whatever the case may be. The added scenes, which might fill in a little bit of stuff here and there, things they might have cut out. I know there was some more of the casino and stuff like that, which people were all hard on. I thought the casino thing was a bust. You know, like it was a bust. They went there, they didn't even get the guy that did. They wound up meeting this other guy who wound up trading on them. But the whole point of that, if you take it back to the whole Poe Dameron thing, Poe Dameron was going against basically the plan, but he didn't know the plan. So he's going against all of this. And now he's got his own team following what he's doing. So what he was doing was bullshit from the beginning. It was pointless from the beginning. And that's kind of maybe that whole, like the gist of that whole thing. Well, it was pointless. We went here for this guy that's rolling the dice. We get a glimpse of him, but that's all we went there for was him. And we ended up with this other guy, which, you know, again, great character. I'm all good with all that. I did not have a feeling about the casino scene. I laughed at some of the characters that were in the background. Kind of reminded me of Mos Cantina. Now, go back to Mos Eisley, and when they had that cantina shot in the original movie, how many people were, look at all these stupid characters. Look at oh, this funny guy. Now they're iconic to us. So we hold on to, as a child, what we expect this movie to be. So, the second time I've seen this movie, I've seen it with my son. He absolutely loves that movie. I've seen it with both my sons, my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old, who have caught up and is now, he's 6, it's PG-13, but it's fantasy. I kind of allow that to slide. It's not real life type stuff. A lot of action, a lot of violence, things like that, but he loved it. He loved it. Everything about it. He had no complaints. He's not sitting there on YouTube ranting about what's bad about Star Wars. Hands in the head. Oh my God, Star Wars sucked. Rian Johnson ruined Star Wars. Oh, Disney is killing Star Wars. No, man. Disney is giving you Star Wars. It's giving you Star Wars. And again, if you think Disney doesn't have its hand in every goddamn script that's written by Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams, you're fooled. You're a fool. They are signing off on every single thing. They know where Episode 9 is going. They have an idea of where they want that franchise to go. They know what they're about to do right now with their new cartoon series, and probably the one coming up after that, because I've heard of multiple. So, and if you're not watching the Rebels, if you're not watching Clone Wars, you're not filling in on little details and things like that, which you're kind of depriving yourself. Don't look at them as cartoons. I did go back and watch them with my kids, and I loved them. They are good, but it's off topic. But the point is, you can't go to a movie and watch a film and say it's not good because it didn't meet your perspective of how they should have went with it. But yet they They never have. You hold them, everybody holds Star Wars to this high, like, pedestal of where we should be at, what we should expect. You guys ruined it. And I say you guys because I wasn't hard on the prequels. I really wasn't. The first one, I loved when I first saw it. It got a little cheesy with the CGI and things when you go back, which I love that they got away from now. Second and third one, up there for me. Attack of the Clones, knowing the Clone Wars cartoons, and, you know, following that whole timeline, and that being a build-up to the Clone Wars cartoons, I loved it. I loved it because, again, by the time I was watching again with my kids and putting in a different perspective, it was awesome. I love Sith out the gate. You know, I mean, Sith was like, oh, it's the best one of the prequels. Awesome, finally we got a good one. But that's flawed too, and that does some things in it that are questionable as well. But it's all part of Star Wars. You know, it was the best one of the things, so we kind of accepted it. But yet, really, when you go back and look at it, it really wasn't that bad. You know, it was an awesome movie, gave you a lot, and you guys ruined Lucas from having his hands in the pot right now for what we're seeing right now. Luke probably would have been a little bit different. Maybe we would have seen him a little bit Jedi Master, but he was past that time, man. Let that come up, man. It'll come up. It's going to come up in canon. It's going to come up other places. It's probably going to come up in a cartoon by Disney, guys. Cartoon by Disney. Think about that. We'll get our Luke backstory. There's multiple cartoons coming out. Why not with even Luke's voice, Mr. Voice character? Why not? You know, what's stopping them from making a Jedi Master story build up to the whole Kylo Ren incident, the whole incident before the Jedi burned down? Maybe that season ends kind of like Rebels is going to have to end right around Rogue One. That whole season of the Jedi Master Luke, maybe they do it 3-4 seasons, maybe they do it 8 seasons, maybe they do it 10 seasons. Whatever they plan, whatever they think they're going to do, they ended on the Jedi Temple going down because Ben woke up and saw Luke standing over him with a lightsaber, and that's the twist of it all. When we know where it went from there, but they just gave you everything else, and it can be in cartoon form, and it's fine with me. I'm good with that. I can watch those cartoons. Archer's one of my favorite freaking shows. Off topic, freaking hilarious cartoon. I wouldn't let my kid watch it. It's an adult cartoon. So, you know, the Star Wars I watch with my kids faithfully, and I love and enjoy even the cheesy filling comments or episodes where, you know, you're basically just giving you filler and battle scenes and things like that. But where they actually go for the whole storyline of the season is all part of the lead up of everything that leads into Star Wars. So I love it all. Again, the biggest gripe is the Luke thing, but let's go back and think. What was it? It was episode 5. So he's on Dagobah and he meets Yoda. So Yoda's this hermit dude, rummaging through his shit, taking his food, beating on his R2. I love, and if you haven't seen Seagulls, the YouTube video with that whole skit, bad lip reading, oh my god, you guys are doing a disservice to yourself. Please go look at Seagulls. Absolutely hilarious. My kids love it. I can't get enough of it myself. But anyway, but that whole scene, he's just this little hermit dude. You know what I mean? You see, yeah. I mean, that's his character was a joke. You know, to a degree, a little guy, and he wound up being a little wise master. We had no idea. So let's think about that for a minute. Go back and watch episode 1, 2, 3. Start off that way, which I did for my son. He loved it. You know what he questioned when he got to episode 5? First of all, what he questioned was, where's Yoda in episode 4? I told him, well, I don't know where Yoda is, but he just, you know, I didn't want to ruin it for him. I was like, maybe he'll pop up. I was like, I can't remember. Because I always play stupid with him. He's young. And so he popped up in episode 5. That's not Yoda. Well, that's not Yoda to him. That's Yoda to all of us. That's what we remember of Yoda. Now we got to see young Yoda, which a lot of people complain about. You know, we get the really good battle in 3. So he is using his lightsaber. He's a badass little Jedi. Quick moves, everything. So he goes for 30 years of his 500 and some years, 600 year, whatever he is, lifespan, and he goes for 30 years, roughly, not even. I'd say what was Luke? Oh God, Luke's in his 20s or teens, so it might have been 20 years. So 20 years he's secluded in Dagobah, and he turns into this hermit. So how long was Luke supposedly on this retreat and kind of exclusion from the Jedi Force and everything, kind of like Yoda did? I think his was a little bit longer, actually, the timeline. Maybe even the same, because again, that happened late in his Jedi training and things, and Ben was younger. So that might have been about the same. So we might be looking about the same time frame of Yoda. And if anybody knows, let me know. But I don't think that's written anywhere of the exact timeline differences. But that's what I want to know, like where that Yoda, how it's okay for Yoda to become this hermit, given the backstory. Now most of you will write off, oh well, it's the prequels. We don't like the prequels anyway. But it's Star Wars. Most people agree Revenge of the Sith was a great movie. So just like with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader coming into Rogue One, he's this badass guy cutting down people and everything else. And then here you got this battle lightsaber scene with Obi-Wan, and it was kind of lacklustrous, to say the least. So you can't say that this isn't something that they have done before. Again, people don't like Phasma. It's a Captain Phasma. Well, she's badass droid or badass soldier. You know, look at her. She's got shiny armor. She's the best looking one out there. You know what I mean? It's going to be a special. And then she was nothing in the first one. It was a joke. Then she pops up in the second one. They had a nice little battle scene. That was actually a good few minutes back and forth, back and forth. They gave you more with her than they gave you Boba Fett. And everybody loves Boba Fett. So, look what they've done with Boba Fett. So Phasma will get her time. I don't think she's still alive. I know a couple people do. Who knows? I mean, God, if you put a time clock and stopwatch to the whole episode 7, the blow up of the planet, them getting out of Starkiller Base, it was questionable even for Rey and Kylo to get out of there before that thing blew. So Darth Maul getting cut in half, all that kind of stuff leaves it open to where you can't write it off that it might not happen. I know Kylo came. I mean, I know Darth Maul's resurrection came through the cartoon series, but they gave it a good. I mean, they carried it through 2 cartoon series. Disney had nothing to do with the Star Wars Cartoon Wars, but they still carried it over into the Rebels, which Darth Maul was still alive, and they gave him a proper battle on that one. And again, you know, Darth Maul was one of them characters that was so freaking hyped. He was all over everything for episode 1, and that battle was okay. He died after his first battle. You didn't really get to see him. He didn't carry through episode 2 and 3. Why are people expecting Snoke to? You know what I mean? Why? You see this guy in episode 1. They talked about him. Stories by Kylo Ren, Darth Vader's grandson. Maybe that's what it is. This is what he needed. Or Snoke's not stupid and knew the lightsaber was next to him, and that he was turning it to strike. And Snoke knows he's got issues. So if you are stronger with the Force once he strikes you down, as Yoda gave us a glimpse. He gave us a glimpse, okay? Because we've heard it. We've heard that if you strike me down, I'm going to become stronger. Cuts him down. We didn't get to hear the rest of the story. So the story's kind of like left at a cliffhanger. The Cartoon Wars filled in a little bit with Qui-Gon and Yoda, talking about a little bit with Yoda to Qui-Gon on how he changed over, which kind of set up Yoda having that ability. And Qui-Gon, being Obi-Wan's master, also had that ability or the knowledge. So that all kind of ties in together. So the Force Ghost thing has been laid out for us. Okay, so that's something they're not changing. That's something that's not different right now. So why isn't Snoke now, knowing that Kylo could possibly strike him down, completely out of the picture? Because I don't think he is. And if he is, again, that just means this story wasn't about Snoke. And all of everybody talking about Snoke all comes from our today's society. It's what's wrong with the world and what's right with the world. Is media. It's social media. It's great because it connects us, but it also connects negative thoughts, negative opinions, ideas that get in people's heads that they can't get out, whether they're true or false, false stories, fake news, tons of that stuff. All that's out there. So when we start opening ourselves up to these shows and these videos, and we all hang on to the millions and millions of views that we all see on these videos, and this is exactly what you got to watch out for. It's because it changes your perspective while you're watching it. If, you know, again, not to get off topic, if you got a kid that goes back and he hears about Jason Voorhees, my kids, I got statues, I got a couple of the figurines and McFarlane figurines, Jason, Freddy, and all them stuff. So my kids see that stuff. They haven't watched the movies yet, so they see that stuff. So my kid's going to see my Jason figure, and when he turns 12, I'll probably let him watch the first Friday the 13th. How disappointed you think my child's going to be when he finds out that Jason Voorhees isn't even in Friday the 13th? It was great at the time in the 70s. My kid's going to be disappointed. He's not going to see Jason's mask. He's going to see his mom not in a mask at all. You know, no killer in a mask. I don't think they ever even show. I don't think. Oh man, it's been a while. I don't even think they show the killer. It just kind of happens. And if it is, it's the mask, the bag over the head. Now I know the second one, it starts with the bag over the head, and then he finds the mask. So, and that's truly Jason. Again, totally off topic. You know, we might not even have the same crossover of fans, and I apologize if not. But the idea is the same, though. It's perspective of the movie. My kids have a perspective of that movie when they go to see it for the first time, that Jason Voorhees, this masked character that they've seen on their dad's shelf for 15 years, 12 years, is this killer in this movie. And they're going to watch it, it's not going to be the case, you know. They're probably not going to like episode 1 or the first movie. Doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It just means that it didn't meet their expectations. So that's the only reason I bring that up. So again, I'm not going to, this video is already way longer than I expected it to be. My arm's asleep, my dog is laying on my arm. I got a puppy and she's just so attached. So yeah, let's get her up there. Might as well. Wake up, girl. Yeah, just because my arm's asleep, I had to change positions. This is Ginger. Any video I ever do, she's probably going to be on my freaking lap until she doesn't fit anymore. But anyway, guys, I don't know if I'm going to do any more videos. I'm not really big. I'm not I'm not big on camera. You know, it's just me in general. Everybody hates their appearance on camera and hates to talk on camera. And I'm completely one of them people. You might not know it right now because I love to talk, but I'm not talking to a camera right now. I'm talking about something that I actually care about and something that I feel strongly about. And actually talking to myself like I do to myself right now. Just the same things that I run through my own mind, only I get to say them out loud and hope that people actually respond back to me and talk to me about it. So, not that I don't have any friends, guys. I got friends. But it's just one of these things, man. I love it. I'm tired of seeing the negativity about this movie without putting it all, like people make this hyped comments, man, and it's like, did you watch all of Star Wars, man? How much of it did you watch? Like, because we've seen all this kind of stuff before, but here's the difference. You don't know what's coming right now. You know, you don't know what's coming. I love that. I know we're going to see Knights of Ren. I'm a strong, avid believer that we're going to see the Knights of Ren. They showed us the prequel of that. They gave us that. It was written, guys. Why is Disney going to let something be in episode 9? I'm sorry, why is Disney going to let something be in episode 7 like that and then just not ever come back to it? They're not. They had to kill off Snoke's guards. They had to kill off Snoke. and now we'll see the Knights of Ren. Now, is the flashbacks, again, I almost ended the video there. Did you see what happened, guys? So the flashbacks, are they real life? Like, somebody brought up the, I'm sorry guys, I watched so many videos. Somebody brought up the question of, well, Kylo has his mask on in the Knights of Ren scene, where they're all standing there with the Knights of Ren. And it's clearly, guys, come on. This is clearly a trilogy, because that was all written already. He took his, they even talked about it in this one, so they've tied it in. People that say that Rian Johnson changed it and he fucked J.J. Abrams, haha, screw you, J.J. Abrams. Oh, lightsaber, oh, thank you for lightsaber. Psh, oh, that's all screw you to J.J. Abrams. No, it's not, guys. It's what Disney wanted. It's what they wanted from the get-go. They wanted to take you, give you something you wanted. They gave us Force Awakens. Then they want to have us talk about it on social media, because they know we will. They know we will. They saw the build-up to Briar. Then they're going to say, you know what? Let's do something a little different. Let's throw them off here. We're going to completely change this up. Whether they changed it up or whether it was always written. Don't think Rian Johnson and them didn't know the hype. Didn't know what the talk was going to be about. And don't think they don't have a plan for what's going to happen in Episode 9 already. If not already, what was going on with this one. If anything, J.J. Abrams might have some stuff to tweak here and there that he has some leeway with. I'm pretty sure Disney's saying, this is kind of how we want this to end, and this is kind of where we want it to be at in the middle, and we just want you to connect the dots. And that's pretty much what all of them, Rian Johnson and all of them, had to do. And everybody holds them to this high pedestal. Disney owns a lot of money, again, guys. This is not something that Rian Johnson is just going to say, I'm going to screw Disney's whole franchise. I'm going to make this movie the way I want it. No, it's not. I mean, so that, again, guys, this is why I made the video. You know, just a little bit about me, man. I am a nerd at heart, you know. Like, I love everything fantasy, anything along that line. I just love movies, pop culture, everything, good movies, good shows. I love to be entrapped in a show, in a series, and just get held in. So, I mean, there's not a lot of people out there doing Orville. I love the couple guys I do watch, but they're kind of, like, you ever watch something kind of like what I am right now, and it's like, what about this? Like, I still have more questions. Like, I'm watching these people, and I'm watching these YouTubers, and I still got more questions. I still got more things that I can add in my mind to what they're talking about. Like, if I could counteract them. And it's like, that's what led me to be this. I actually created, this is probably my first video I'm ever going to post on this channel. But I have another channel for other stuff, but it's just, this is something that I don't know what I want to do with this channel, if I'm even going to keep it up and going, if I could go past this video. I'm so busy with my life, I don't have time to do stuff like this. It's probably going to take me a while to edit this video. The issue I have, which won't be hard because I kind of straight shot most of it, but the issue I have is just that I want my own perspective out there, and I've talked to a lot of people about it, and we're like bam, bam, bam. So I know my perspective is on point with what everybody else is thinking, if not maybe a little bit different to what people are thinking. But I try to get the general narrative and just try to kind of go with it. So, but like I said, I love the Orville. Orville's awesome. I would love to do an Orville series. If it's something you guys are interested in, you know, hey, let me know in the comments, because again, I'm not gonna waste my time, man. I'm a busy person in my two businesses that I run, and this is something that I want to do for fun. Plus, I know it's great YouTube. I'm already in the YouTube aspect. It's great for YouTube as far as just talking about it, but it's not even about the money. It's not even about the clicks. It's not even about the likes. Like and subscribe, guys, by the way. But it's not about that, though. It really isn't. And I promise you, it's not. I'm not making this video so I can make money. I'm making this video because, like, I'm tired of hearing the complaints about a movie that people had in their own mind that didn't appear on film. And that's kind of what it is, man. That's what all of them are. That's what the whole prequels were. You know, like every single, find me a Star Wars movie that people didn't pick apart, the critics didn't pick apart, the fandom didn't pick apart, expectations didn't pick apart. You're not going to find one. So this movie will do very well down the road. This movie's going to do awesome for people that sit back and watch the movie in a sequence 1 through 9 and just kind of enjoy it. It's going to do awesome. It's going to be a great, great story, especially when we get to number 9 and you see the end of Luke Skywalker. You see how it ended, because who doesn't want to see the whole story? I mean, they want to move on. They want to go elsewhere with this. They want to bring in more movies. They want to get into maybe new characters. Oh, Disney, it's fucking Disney. They are going to make a whole new movie franchise, a whole new set of trilogies. Not anything to do with these. They're going to make their own characters. They probably got people working on this stuff right now. It's coming. So you either got to get on board or get off. Or sit back and be moderate, you know? Either way, enjoy it for what it is. Don't let the expectations... I'm not going to stop watching videos. I'm just going to have to see it twice. I'll have to see it the first time with my expectations, and then the second time like I did with my kid, with his expectations. And you see things through a whole... I don't even wear glasses, guys. I was reading earlier. I was reading my notes. You see things through a whole another light. So again, guys, if you like what I'm talking about, man, subscribe. Let me know. I'm probably not going to do too much with this channel as of right now. But again, the more likes and people show up for this video, it shows me that maybe I'm hitting something here, and I'll keep going with my thoughts and my opinions. I'm not going to make a video every week or anything like that. Maybe after a couple people make videos and they kind of piss me off about something, or to say some stuff that I don't like. Definitely want to talk about the new Avengers movie when it comes out. Again, that's just me. So if you guys are on board with something like that and you want to hear my perspective of that whole saga, you know, let me know. And again, the Orville, I love Orville. There's tons of shows and things I could do stuff about, and I could just sit back and talk after watching a show that wouldn't even affect what I do for my business, because I'm already thinking about this stuff. I could just put it to tape and talk about it, and it's so much easier. Then I might even get some replies back and seem more beneficial to my health. So again, guys, my name's Steve. If you guys leave me a comment or anything, man, please subscribe. If you want to see some more videos. And me and Ginger here, me and my girl Ginger, will come back, and hopefully she'll be a little more awake. See, when I came home, she was wide awake. She was biting me while I was trying to make my video and set everything up. And then, of course, as soon as the video starts, she's like dead. So, alright, well, we can watch her grow on my lap together if you guys are interested. And again, drop me a comment, like. If you guys have any questions, hit me up, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Alright, guys, may the Force be with you. No, with you. No, with you.